And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Welcome to Alaska Weather. I'm meteorologist Peter Chan, coming to you from the National Weather Service in Alaska region on this Saturday, March 8th, 2025. And if you'd like additional weather information on top of what you get in this YouTube video, you can go to weather.gov and it'll bring you to a web page that'll show you what the weather conditions can be like for anywhere across the country. We're going to jump right into Alaska, though, tonight. Strong low pressure and a front will be tracking across the Bering Sea and the Aleutians, and then that front will be pushing up into the southwest coast tonight with some burst of snow and wind. We're not looking at super heavy amounts of snow, but enough for their winter weather advisories that have been issued. Another thing for everyone, we spring ahead 1 hour tonight before bed or when you wake up Sunday morning. Remember to set your clocks in the kitchen or on the wall because we return to daylight savings, so we lose that hour. But it will be, at least with the time change, sunset will be a little later just because of that adjustment. And we have a full moon and total lunar eclipse coming up on Thursday evening, March 13th. So if skies are clear or partly cloudy in your location, the moon will be passing within the Earth's shadow and take on this brownish red coppery hue. Pretty neat thing to see. That's going to be near its central point around 11 p.m. on Thursday evening. I'll have more about that coming up. In the meantime, out along the southwest coast, clouds are on the increase. Kwagillingok showing that front approaching from the southwest. You can see the cirrus clouds and then the lowering down to the alto stratus. Those are going to be pushing northeastward tonight, bringing snow and wind. Temperature there this afternoon, 28 degrees. In the southeast, Ketchikan dealing with some rain showers and fog. Temperature at 40 degrees, and there could even be an isolated rumble of thunder, enough instability there over southern parts of the Panhandle, as we'll continue to see some additional showers on Sunday. So coming up for Aurora viewing and sky viewing, we have a coronal hole in the sun's atmosphere that is pointing right at Earth right now this weekend. That causes an increase in the solar wind. So when that solar wind buffets the Earth, especially this time of year near the equinox, that'll likely trigger a minor geomagnetic storm, which could enhance the high latitude auroras that we typically see in Alaska. Now, quiet form auroras in Alaska, it's when you kind of just see that soft, whitish green hue along the north horizon. But when you get a minor storm like this, it's enough to enhance it, to give it a little structure. So you might actually start seeing bands, curtains. It can be a little more active. So something to keep your eyes open for if you have clear skies tonight. But also the moon phase is now heading toward full moon, so we have a waxing gibbous moon, so there will be some moonlight. And then again, the time change I just mentioned, spring ahead 1 hour on your clocks tonight officially goes into effect 2 a.m. this early Sunday morning. And then the total lunar eclipse Thursday evening, March 13th. Again, mark that one down if you have clear to partly cloudy skies in your location. Pretty neat sight to see. Quick check of the hazards map. Start out with a special weather statement, eastern Kenai up into the area around the west end of the Prince William Sound. This is for high avalanche danger. We had a fatal avalanche happen on Tuesday afternoon in the area just east of Girdwood on the west fork of the 20-mile river. Unfortunately, 3 skiers have perished in that avalanche, and so avalanche danger, especially now that we're getting into the springtime, is higher than normal across areas of South Central. So be very careful if you're planning to venture out in the backcountry, skiing or on snowmobiles. As for the Southwest, this is all a winter weather advisory. We have that front that is currently pushing through St. Paul. That's going to be moving up along the Alaska Peninsula, Bristol Bay, Kuskokwim Bay, Lower Yukon Delta, Nunavik Island, up to St. Lawrence Island. These areas will be first reached as we head through this evening and Saturday night. We are going to see a burst of snow and wind. Southeast winds ahead of this front could gust as high as 30, 40, even 45 miles an hour up there on St. Lawrence Island. You combine that with snowfall amounts as generally a few inches, a few spots where you get that enhancement with a southeast wind. Could see as much as 4 or 5 inches of snow. That would be on the higher end, but nevertheless a period of reduced visibility and moderate to locally briefly heavier snowfall is likely tonight into early Sunday morning. So the Avalanche Center here is indicating that we have considerable avalanche danger here in the areas around Valdez, east through Thompson Pass, and then down here in the Kenai Peninsula, especially Turnagain Pass, Summit Lake area to Moose Pass, and then certainly pockets that are not feasibly monitored anywhere within the mountains, the Chugach there. Just be very, very careful if you're considering going out into the backcountry, snowmobiling, skiing. The thing is, really avoid those steeper slopes. That's where the real danger is. And looking at the satellite imagery, this as we go through this morning and afternoon, very clearly, look at this low here. It's just riding along the lower end of the Gulf North Pacific interface. It's going to continue eastward and then just kind of get absorbed as a weak trough and lift north Sunday into early Monday. This feature, though, notice the popcorn variety of the clouds, more typical of a spring system. You have colder air aloft over the warmer waters. Same thing, you get the heating of the land. So it tends to create showers. There could be an isolated rumble of thunder within this, if not the Saturday afternoon, again on Sunday. Back to the west, here is that occluded front. We have the deeper low out here north of Shimia. It was down near 960 millibars. This front is what's going to push up into the southwest coast and bring that burst of wind and snow tonight. Then a secondary low is going to form down here near and just southwest of Kodiak Island early Sunday morning, and that low is just going to kind of wobble around in this region of the western Gulf to take us early in the week. So on the weather map late tonight, early Sunday morning, we have the weakening low in the southeast eastern quadrant of the Gulf. Back to the far west, we have the main low down around 960 millibars there over the central bearing with this occluded front pushing up into Kuskokwim and Bristol Bays with a secondary low development just southwest of Kodiak Island. Then by the time we get in the Sunday afternoon, the low is on the east side of Kodiak Island, and that's just going to continue northeastward. That other low just washing out as a trough, but there's enough instability with it. There'll be some scattered showers, rain showers at sea level, and then could be a mix of little snow and sleet there up in the higher elevations of the mountains. But that low out over the central bearing is just going to take its time working east-southeastward. It'll be passing just north of St. Paul on Monday afternoon and weakening. We have the secondary low in the western Gulf just kind of sitting there, and there'll be some areas of generally light rain and some snow around it and keep some showers going. This occluded front will tend to wash out by Tuesday, more as toward a trough. We still have a weak low situated southwest or just south of the southern parts of the Gulf there on Tuesday afternoon. Mainland areas, if you're up here, middle upper Yukon Valley, up along Brooks Range, Arctic coast, a little quieter weather, though temperatures will be a bit colder up there. Off to the southwest, there's another low well southwest of the Aleutians by Tuesday afternoon. And as we come up for temperatures tonight, you'll have some colder readings, 18, 20 below there around Arctic Village. Below zero, North Slope, Arctic coast. And then down here through the Panhandle, the outer Panhandle, typical Sitka down through Metlakatla, we're looking at lows to generally stay above freezing. Areas of south central, especially if there's any partial clearing, you're going to get below freezing, so watch out for that refreezing, icy spots on walkways and roadways. And then with that burst and push of snow coming up into the southwest, temperatures will be steady to slowly rising once they dip below freezing early tonight. And then on Sunday afternoon, with that system pulling in, when the front will just kind of wash out as a trough, but it's also going to allow a little warmer air northward. So readings across the southwest coast and interior should generally get above freezing on Sunday afternoon. In the far north, we still have readings down around or just a little below zero in parts of the North Slope and Arctic coast. We find readings along the Alaska Peninsula in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees, and that'll extend all up along Cook Inlet into the lower Susitna Valley. Readings in the mid to maybe upper 40s there in the southwest, outer southwest and southern parts of the Panhandle. Monday morning lows, again, pretty cold, 18 below there at Arctic Village, 8 below Fort Yukon. We could see some readings down around 15 below Arctic coast, and especially toward Wainwright and Point Lay. And again, areas here within the main road system out of Anchorage up also down along the Glen Highway, we could see some icy spots as a result of those colder nighttime temperatures when daytime readings get back up around or above freezing. Outlook for Monday afternoon, highs in the outer Panhandle, mid-40s. Even in the north, Juneau and Skagway should still have readings in the mid-upper 30s. As we go through south central, 40-degree readings pretty likely around Anchorage, Homer, all the way up to Talkeetna. Even areas near Fairbanks could see readings around or a little above freezing. In the far north, still some single-digit readings above or below zero along the north slope and Arctic coast. And then out to the west, temperatures will have moderated a little bit there out over St. Lawrence Island, 25 for a high on Monday. And across the lower Yukon, we're looking at highs around the freezing mark. So, at least temperatures moderating for southern areas, but looking ahead through mid and just beyond mid-March, the best chance for below normal temperatures are going to be along the west coast and through the northwest quadrant of the mainland. Temperatures may average near normal around in areas surrounding Kodiak Island, Cook Inlet, Prince William Sound, the Kenai, including Anchorage, maybe a little below normal in through the Panhandle. So we're not looking at an unusually mild pattern for much of the state like it was a couple weeks ago for that time frame. But now, with that, we do expect drier than normal conditions along the northwest, the western Seward Peninsula, Lisburn Peninsula, especially Kotzebue up through Point Hope to Utqiagvik, and then maybe a little above normal precipitation, especially along and south of the Alaska Range, more notably around Cook Inlet, perhaps parts of the Copper River Basin, Prince William Sound. So just most of the weather systems, this is going to be along coastal areas. We do expect the best chance coastal area rains with some snow in the intercoastal mountains there as we go through the middle part and just beyond there of March.